You are most welcome, my dear learners, to P3 English Lesson 3 by Teacher Joel MALUMA. In today's lesson, we are going to talk about irregular adjectives. And in case you have any question or wants to talk to me, you can use the telephone number below on your screen to call, or you can send a WhatsApp message. Still, you can use the email address and I shall get to you feedback as soon as possible. Today, we are looking at irregular adjectives. What are they? Remember previously, we have been talking about regular adjectives which are formed by adding some letters either at the beginning or at the end of the adjective to form the comparative degree and the superlative degree. Now we are looking at irregular adjectives. What are irregular adjectives? So these are adjectives that do not change form by adding some letters, meaning to form the comparative degree and the superlative degree. Here we don't have to add some letters to get to those forms. Why? These ones, they change completely from the original word. So giving an example, we shall look at that word or the adjective in the positive form or positive degree. Then we shall see the changes in the comparative degree and the superlative degree. So in the positive degree, I have the word good. Good is an adjective, and to form to the comparative degree, we change from good to a new word which is better. Then in the superlative degree, it is best. Are you seeing the changes now? The three are totally different words. Here we have good, better, and best. Are you seeing that we did not add any letter there? How about in these other ones? Let's see. Bad, worse, worst. Are you seeing that? Many, more, most. Much, more, most. Now let me talk about these ones. Many and much are almost the same when it comes to what they mean, but the use is different. We use many when talking about countable nouns. Like you may say, I have many books. I saw many animals in the zoo. Those ones we can count them. But when I talk about water, sugar, I cannot count. So there I use much. I say, put much sugar in my tea. Put much sugar in my tea. Or use much water. Okay, so that's why they have the same form when it comes to comparative and superlative, because they mean the same, only the use changes. Finally, let's talk about far, farther, and farthest. With far, here this word means something which is in a distance. Can be far, then can be farther, that is when the distance is longer compared to the first one. And the farthest, extremely very far, that is what I mean. Now this is almost the end of these categories of adjectives, and I want us to have a quick general revision activity which we can do in less than 5 minutes, because I want you to use the correct form of words given in brackets to fill the gap. Are we together? So giving an example, number one, we are saying a rat is dash than a rabbit, and in brackets I have the word small. So what is the answer there? We have small, smaller, smallest. Of the three words, what is the answer? I want to check. Do you still remember when we use the three words or each of them? Number two, An elephant is the dash animal, in brackets, fat. Number 3, a car is dash than a bicycle. Write only the answer. Pause this video, answer question by question. Number 4, Mary is the dash girl in class. In brackets, we have the word smart. And finally, today is dash than yesterday. In brackets, we have the word good. So, have you finished? Write only the answer. Pause the video. Write the answers. Then we check. We are going to mark ourselves. Let's get to the correction. Activity corrections. I hope you have finished. Number 1, we say a rat is smaller than a rabbit. Did you get it correct? Number 2, an elephant is the fattest animal. Now let me first talk about these two. You will see that number 1, this question is in the comparative degree because we are looking at two things, a rat and a rabbit. So if we are comparing a rat and a rabbit, our answer is in the comparative degree. That's why we write smaller. The number 2, an elephant is the fattest animal. Here we are looking at an elephant out of many animals. So this is comparative degree. That is why you see we have written fattest. Now what about the rest? Did you remember those two? Those two guidelines. A car is more expensive than a bicycle. Yes, we are comparing two things, a car and a bicycle. That is comparative. So the answer is more expensive. Number 3, Mary is the smartest girl in class. Here we are looking at Mary out of all girls in class. So this is comparative degree. So our answer is smartest. And number 5, today is better than yesterday. So here, this is comparative degree because we are looking at today and yesterday, which was better. So today is better than yesterday. Our answer is in the comparative degree. Now, my dear learners, take a note of such. So, as we wind up with adjectives, let us look at another new subheading, and we call it time. We are looking at opposite forms of adjectives. Did you know that adjectives have got opposite forms? Let us have examples. So we shall have a word here, but it is an adjective. And the examples I can give, like thin, cheap, big, smooth, tall, bad, ugly. Are they enough? Okay, one more. Long. So these are our adjectives. Then we need to get the opposite forms of these adjectives. So opposite forms can be written this side. Where we have thin, what is the opposite of thin? That is fat. The opposite of cheap is expensive. The opposite of big is small. The opposite of smooth is rough. The opposite of tall is short. The opposite of bad is good. The opposite of ugly is beautiful. And the can be handsome. Girls are beautiful, boys are handsome. Then the opposite of long is short. Now, remember this. When you look at these words, all are in the positive degree. Now, if it was in the comparative, here we would have thinner. So here the opposite would be fatter. Here we would have cheaper, and the opposite would be more expensive. Take note of that. Where we have big, bigger, the opposite becomes smaller. The same applies to the superlative degree. We have smoothest, then here roughest, tallest, shortest, worst, better. Is that very clear? Then short is appearing 2 times. If it was a sentence, we may say there it describes very well. When do you say that the opposite is short? Sometimes we may give the word short and we want you to give the opposite. Will you write tall or long? There it depends upon the nature of the sentence. What are we talking about? Objects are long. For example, a snake is long. Hair is long. Okay? Then, what is tall? A person is tall. You can't say a person is long. I think let us look at some sentences to understand this better. Using opposite forms in sentences. Here, we may say rewrite the sentence giving the opposite of the underlined word. Then what number 1 says? My brother is a strong boy. My brother is a strong boy. And the word strong is underlined. What is the opposite of strong? There we say is weak. So we say my brother is a weak boy. Remember, instructions are saying rewrite. Somewhere we say write giving the opposite, but here rewrite. So meaning you write afresh. Example number 2. Akelo is quick when doing work. What is the opposite of quick? We shall say Akelo is slow when doing work. This should be the last example. Number 3. That is the worst gift in my life. So this statement is in the superlative degree. That is the worst gift in my life. And the answer is, that is the best gift in my life. Are we together? But remember, tall, short, and long. When it comes to sentence, know how you are going to answer it, basing on what you are talking about. Is it a person? A person is tall. Is it any object like a rope? A rope is long. So the opposite will be any of those two if the word was short. So my dear learners, I want to say there is activity or exercise which I would like you to do. Is just in form of review questions. So find activity of lesson 3 on P3 Google Classroom. You join using the class code. Here is the class code. So please use it to join and answer the questions there. Thank you for watching this video. My name once again is Teacher Joel MALUMA. My number is the one you see on the screen. I would like to ask you to check out the playlist below for recent lessons you may have missed. So by tapping this button, you will get the playlist of Primary 3. Then subscribe in order to get more upcoming lessons for all subjects. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. This marks the end of the lesson. May God bless you. Amen.